Yo, Internet! Welcome back. And today I am beyond excited on what I have to share with you. And if you've been following our social channels on Instagram mainly, you'll kind of know what this video is about, and of course the description. But talking about the first Ecoboost to 5-liter harness made for the 2018 to 2020 F150s. So why am I so excited? Well, the first one I get to go and travel and test myself. I've already built the harness. I'll show it you in a second. It's fairly simple when you break it down, but there's a lot of caveats to it, of course. And so we're actually going to be heading up to Prescott Valley. It's about an hour 15 north of where the shop is, to visit Coyote at TSW Off-Road, Arizona. He specializes in Raptor builds, has a lot of products too, so put a link in the description for his website and whatnot, so it's not too far of a drive. But he's got a 2018 crew cab Ecoboost that for the last 6 years he's told me giving him nothing but problems. I don't know the problems exactly. All I know is he bought a donor truck for a 2019 5.0 donor truck, same wheelbase, and has slid the chassis underneath it to basically do a chassis swap. We did run into one caveat where he had to take the Ecoboost chassis harness because there was like two connectors that didn't match up between the 5.0 and the year difference. So other than that, it swapped out fine. So this will still apply, even though this truck is very built, it's still going to apply to factory vehicles because we kept the factory wiring, the interior is still factory and all that good stuff. But he's got it built out on 40s. Like 7 feet of suspension travel. I don't know, that's gonna be cool. Right now I don't think there's any shocks in it because it's sitting low, but it looks badass, like very pre-runner. He's got it like not quite back half, but very cool dude to work with. But let me show you this harness and what it's all about, and let's get on the road. I mean, of course I'm gonna deliver it in my personalized box, but here we go. This is the 2018 to 2020 Ecoboost to 5-liter Coyote swap plug and play harness. Now this only applies to 3.5 trucks. In my research of diagrams and whatnot, it looked like the 18 to 20 2.7 trucks use the same connector and wiring as the Coyote. So that might be just a ECU, swap some hardware, battery harness kind of situation. Whereas almost all Ecoboosts use this connector from 2011 to today probably. I don't have mine keyed because it's obviously you can't put it in wrong, but that's going to be connecting to the body side of the harness. And then we got just a little T. Of course, one wire had to ruin the game, otherwise the engine harness inline for power and ground would have been 100% plug and play from the Ecoboost truck to the 5-liter engine harness. But there was a ground feeding something kind of silly, the in-cab coolant pump, so that when auto start, blah blah blah, your coolant's still cycling for heat, so you get that in the cab. I deemed it well important so that everything's factory. I don't want anything not being factory when we do swaps. And then a transmission inline interface. So this is on the Ecoboost side. It's got this big honking connector. Obviously the female side's on the truck side, and this is where the 5-liter one interfaces to. So some other interesting things I found out about the differences in the Ecoboost, at least in the 2018 to 2020 years in the transmission, is that the Ecoboost 10-speed has its own TCM. So there's a lot more wires going down. There's CAN bus wires that we had to loop here so that the connection stays closed, so we don't have any open loops in the network. And then which makes sense, is the like upshift and downshift, select shift buttons go through this connector too, where on the 5-liter trucks, they go right to the body connector. So we had to branch into those. I think those are the only 3 wires. Now there's a few, some signal return wires going back to the body connector that weren't going to be in this body connector. So hence there, and then all the transfer case controls are transferred over. The same wires I've seen since the Expedition and 11 and up F150s. So that should all be straightforward. So that's basically it. That's the meat and potatoes of the harness. Very simple and should be good to go on the highway part. Like all the colors and all the wires translated except one, and that was for a generator battery current sensor, which it might have been a typo because they had one wire that didn't translate. So but there was it was a 5-volt reference wire that I just tied into another one, so it should work, and I'm not too concerned about that. But all like the meat and potato starting circuits, grounds, powers, AC, they all used the same color wires. It's just that it's a different connector, different pins. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is the programming. I got my laptop, I got Forescan, HP tuners, got all my cables, got my tools, and got my voltmeter just in case we run into some other issues. But he turned the ignition on without anything adapted, and everything in the cab still works. He was listening to the radio, whatever was left on there last, so that was cool. So what I'm going to try and do first is just do a parameter reset with Forescan, relearn the ECU, and then if it still doesn't start, we'll just do a PATS programming. If that still doesn't work, or we can't do that with Forescan, then we'll delete the PATS and get some fire in the pipes, because he's super excited. He's later going to be throwing a whipple on this, but now it's just going to be a stock 3rd-gen truck Coyote for simplicity's sake, which can't thank him for doing that. But also initially, before I even do anything, I want to plug in the harness and just power it on, see if we got throttle and all that stuff. But enough of jabbering. I'm probably already running late. Let's get on the road. We hit it. There's the rig. Oh, dirty truck. Look at this thing. So Cody already has the obviously hard part done. He had there's his old cab, or the donor cab. So that's the 90 pin we're gonna get into, and then we got the harness here, and gonna have Cody kind of talk about a little bit about the truck and what we're doing. So this is Cody.
Oh, so you're starting.
Yep. Okay. We just do it nonchalant.
Right,
you don't have to be like crazy professional or anything, but
yeah. So my name is Cody from TSW OFFROAD here in Arizona, and we have my truck that started off as an Ecoboost and now has a Coyote from a 2019 in it. Long story short, it was a bone stock XLT when I bought it. I've had 2 Ecoboost motors go through it. I've had every setup you can imagine, from gear stage 2 turbos, exhaust manifolds, intercoolers. I've had nothing but problems for 6.5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, I never really got down to what your problems were with the Ecoboost, but it sounds like you covered it, like just...
Crankshaft cracked in 2 places.
What?
Yeah. And that was before big turbos too. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've had dealer warranty wise is $62,000.
That is banana sandwich. You know how much you could get for that? A lot of more Coyote.
Yes, yeah, you could have had a really badass Coyote. So, yeah, so it started off as an XLT. It's on its 17th suspension setup.
Well, I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of what we do. So it's gone under the revision so many different times.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through it, outrun it, build it, outrun it, build it, and this is kind of where it's going to be. This is fully bumped out. It has 18.5 inches of travel up front and 25 in the rear.
Okay, because earlier I'm like, I think this thing has like 3 feet of travel, but I'm like, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. But each corner has a coilover, a bypass, bump stop. But today, Matt from Make It Modular made this awesome harness. So we have a Coyote PCM in here, Coyote motor, all the wire harness from it, and then essentially we're gonna see what happens when we plug and play in here.
Yeah, what I was telling you I was gonna do, just plug it in, not even do any programming, just see if the computer wakes up. We hear the throttle, the fuel pump prime, because he still has the module in play. So yeah,
it is angry without it, so I'll say that much. So I'm excited to see what it does plugged into it, and once we get this thing up and running, everything's good to go. I have a 2.9 Whipple to put on it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we did the boundary oil pump gears.
Hell yeah.
The Bosch GT tensioners, GT500 chains. So we upgraded everything so it could shift as high as we can get it to go, because I've had so many problems before. I like the bulletproof stuff, and we'll see how this one holds.
And there's oil in it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I put it in last night, and I triple checked it just to make sure.
Sick. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna plug this thing in, hopefully, and see if the thing can wake up. All right, everything plugged in beautifully. Cody was pretty happy with the clicking noises.
Yes, I was. It sounds so nice.
So let's just turn the key on and see if this thing makes some throttle noises and fuel pump stuff. Ah, it primed the first time, right?
Yeah, I did. I heard it.
So apparently when you... I just want to see... I didn't hear any clicking in the throttle. That's not good. Well, we'll do a reinitialization of this thing and see if it'll be more happy. All right, so we had the fuel pump running. Throttle was not responding, but we did get regular codes from the PCM. So doing the module initialization, relearn vehicle data. And it says the wait, and this thing is off, so that's good news. So it's kind of doing a reboot, I think, of all the modules. Turn it on. We'll just cut to when the fun part comes. All right, we're gonna prime the engine first, though.
Yeah.
I think that's enough, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's get some fire in the pipes. Wait till that Whipple's on there. Say that again?
Make it modular is make it work.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no, I got a check engine light from my Ford.
Oh, no, it won't work? No, the remote start won't work? It did, trust us.
Yeah, it will. Right.
Yeah? Say, fuck you, Ecoboost. This is, it's in the wrong spot on the truck, but soon enough. All right, so this thing runs. We tested the transfer case functions. Cody did some voodoo with the ABS. We're not even sure. But you guys wouldn't have to run into that because he actually put the 2019 5.0 chassis on here, which has the ABS modules on the chassis. So you won't have to worry about programming. But the programming, the PCM to the BCM actually went really well. Thing has no check engine lights, like you saw. This thing, remote start still works. This thing is just ready to rip. You excited or what?
Oh, so excited, man. The first trip is going to be hucking this thing.
Yeah. So you gonna put the Whipple on before like the first test run, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive it for a day or two.
Okay.
To make sure, and then we'll put the supercharger on, get it tuned up. Should make between 700 to 760 horsepower.
Hell yeah.
With 25 inches of travel and KR 340s. So,
what were you power-wise with the Ecoboost?
around around 660 or so.
So it should be not only just better, but you'll feel probably...
And 3 seconds of turbo lag.
Oh, wow.
3 seconds to build boost. It'd make 24 pounds of boost, and it'd be at the worst time every time when I try to go into a corner because I drive with the rear.
Yeah.
So now we have a Whipple and just...
Yeah, you'll have, especially with that thing, that'll be instant, so...
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. ECU bolted right in place of the Ecoboost.
Yep. Got
our harness all snapped in. That was 100% plug and play. We spent... The first time trying to program anything seems to be the longest, but I mean, it took what, 20 minutes for us to figure it out?
Yeah, it was literally running within 30 minutes with no check engine lights.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Jeez. I felt the earth rotation slow with the size of those tires.
It's 123 pounds on them.
That was a thing I saw on the BCM. You can change your tire size.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That changed the gear ratio, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that.
Look at that. Free of lights, full of fire. All right, Internet Machine. We just left Cody's shop. Super successful. We're both so pumped. Spent a few more hours there, and a very important thing that we discovered is that these trucks were equipped with brushless and brush fans. So the 5.0 swap truck, donor truck that he had had brush fans. The Ecoboost cab originally had brushless fans, so there was a fan 2 control circuit error, which led us to find out that he had brushless fans. There's 2 different diagrams for it, and we were able to change the configuration in forescan, and then the fans we filled up with coolant because they didn't have coolant at first, and I got to 203 fans which still weren't coming on. And long story short, I hooked them up with HP tuners and had the fans turn on earlier, and then they kicked on. So I was super pumped that was that easy, and the fan code went away because we changed the configuration of the PCM all with forescan. The PATS wasn't even like an issue like the old cars. You're able to like relearn the modules like in less than a minute, and then it cranked over just fine, which I had a feeling that newer trucks or newer Fords in that generation to do something like this would actually be a lot more painless. Plus we have no lights, no ABS, no airbag light bullshit. It had an emissions code, but that was it. That's probably on the chassis side because that's all different from a different truck. We don't care about that one, but everything was functional. The 4-wheel drive switched. We ran it through the gears quick, as you could see. Just super pumped. So now you guys, your 18 to 20 trucks, you want to get rid of that eco smoosh and put on a 5.0 because you're sick of dealing with Ecoboost problems. We got a solution to make it stupid easy, and that'll be on the site probably when this video drops. So thanks again, Cody, for trusting me in this process. That's TSW Off-Road up in Prescott Valley, about an hour 15 from my shop. And coming up next, we got to work on the 15-17 trucks, which I want to do something special for myself with my own project. So give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.